Volvo Cars now introduces yet another car of the future as an important part of the company's environmental concentration. This is the Volvo Recharge concept. A rechargeable electric car with a very high charge capacity that can also be charged during the journey by means of its flexi-fuel engine.
This is a different kind of hybrid than what we're normally used to. It has an engine, but it does not have any shaft between the engine and the wheels. Though actually the wheels are driven by motors in the wheels themselves, inside the tires. And so we have 4 motors driving 4 wheels. It's called something called a series hybrid with wheel motors.
This is a car of the future with many smart solutions.
That is a very unique and actually a big improvement in car design, because it allows us to have a lot of flexibility and also improvements in terms of safety. Because now we've moved the motors to the wheels, we get much more crash protection in the front of the car that wouldn't be otherwise possible. It also has a lot of interesting things, like allows us to independently control the wheels and also get much better efficiency, because we've eliminated the transmission. That takes away about 10% of energy out of most cars today.
What is unusual about this car is the fact that it is driven by 4 wheel motors directly from the battery, and it is possible to drive 100 kilometers without recharging the battery. This means that 80% of all cars in the USA could be driven in an environment-friendly way without petrol.
These cars are designed to operate up to 100 kilometers on batteries alone, which means that you could charge the car during the nighttime hours when electricity is cheap and mainly on renewable electricity, so that you're mainly paying for electricity prices, to drive this car. In the United States, that comes out to about 3 cents per mile, as opposed to even with cheap gasoline in the United States, where it's about 13 cents a mile if you were running this on the petrol.
For Volvo Cars, this concept car is a vitally important step forward. But the big question that many people are asking themselves is if and when the car will be in production.
That's something that I can't say right now, and some of it's going to depend on how well our suppliers meet the time targets. It looks like we'll be looking at something like this after 2015 on the commonly seen on the roads, but it's very hard to say right now. I could safely say that this will not be, the first kind of hybrid that we'll put out. We'll keep that a secret until later.
The Volvo Recharge concept is a plug-in hybrid electric car. The battery pack is placed under the luggage compartment floor. 4 electric motors, 1 at each wheel, provide independent traction. The generator recharges the batteries and powers the wheel motors when the battery is low. The car can be driven about 100 kilometers on battery power alone. When battery power gets low, the 1.6-litre flexi-fuel engine starts automatically to drive the generator, which powers the individual wheel motors and recharges the batteries. During braking, the 4 electric wheel motors operate as generators, sending power back to the battery. The batteries can be recharged via a standard electrical outlet. This can take 3 hours, but an hour or less will often be enough.